Alright folks, we will get started in a minute. I always like to start my videos off by saying that, just to lower the pressure a little bit. What am I doing? That's the real question. I honestly don't know. Looking for something in one of my settings and turns out it's in a completely different page. So that's great. Shoot. Trying to edit my video before I go live. Don't know if I could do a certain setting. Trying to see if I can do it or I have to wait until afterwards because yeah, YouTube can be kind of weird. It can be strange in a brilliant way, but in all seriousness, yeah, it's just, I don't know, I think it's a viewer activity thing. Nope. Stream health. Just go bounce through all the different windows. Tell me it's one of these. Maybe it's the edit button, the big giant square. Yeah, it is. Did I? Okay. Just want to see if I don't know, I'm gonna figure this thing out for future videos. Did I do it for future videos? Trying to make things 18 plus for videos in general. It's kind of weird. I could still do monetization, but yeah, it's like limited, I think, which is, you know, expected, fair. But before, I think it was like you make something 18 plus, it's like no money. But yeah, the times they are a changing, and I'm a changing my settings as I go through the different windows. Yes. Oh, there it is. Okay. We're gonna get started in a quick bit, in a jiffy. If that hasn't been overused, I don't know what has. Alright, so that's gonna be an introduction. T-minus 30 seconds. And why the heck not? I'm just gonna put this in all the playlists as we speak. Let us begin then. Oh geez, you can do trailers now? That's nuts. Alright, serious note now. Let's get started. Welcome back, everybody. Dirk the Red Panda here with Password. Yep, we are getting onto another update of it. We've been back to back with these recent updates, so that's been pretty cool on Password's part. Our one-man show, the man does it all. Should say the Tanuki does it all. Rami Watanuki, or Grizz. I don't know what they go by, or which, yeah, pseudonym, I guess you could say. So, yes, either way, Rami or Grizz does it all, and has been on quite a streak lately with Path A, so that's why I've been able to get these Password updates out like really fast. So normally it's like they're switching off between like, you know, good paths, bad paths, the character routes and all that. But yeah, it's been the last 3 times I've all been the Path A, which is what we're on. So if anybody is following and wondering like, oh, why is mine different, or like, which one are you playing? I am playing Path A. I want the good ending. I only want to see good things happen to our characters. And this is page 6, I assume? 8? 6, yep. So, what I normally do for the Password updates when there are multiple characters that get updated, or technically it's an overlapping update like this. I will play the first character in the alphabetical order first, which in our case is Dean, and then go down the list, which we only have one other, so Dean, then Tyson. That is my brain and how it works, so we'll get started on day 22 of Dean's route, technically, but day 22 overlapping in a bit. So where did we left off? Where did we leave off? Spooky face here. I don't know why I'm lagging a bit. I'm gonna have to do some fixing in my settings. Oh geez, I am really lagging behind on my thing for some reason. Oh well. But yes, we were in an ultimatum with the bad guys. I don't know if I'm gonna call them that, but basically Memphis, whatever their last name was, Memphis something, Orlando's dad, is trying to get us into an ultimatum for the quote-unquote time machine, which is really just the vault, which really isn't anything special. It's more of just the container for the thing. I don't know. But yeah, basically we are in a conundrum where we are gonna have to face off against the mafia in a few days. So yeah, that's where we are. Nothing bad happening here, all good stuff. And this is the best path, by the way. This is the best possible path we can go. It's path A. I'm pretty sure paths B, C, and D, and E, and F, and G, and H, I think it goes up to H or G, all have pretty bad situations going on, so this is pretty unavoidable. And aw, thanks for the compliments. Yes, I did get a profile pic for Pride Month, and I had put it on my alt account. So I was like, should I move it? Are people gonna get confused and like click on it thinking this is my alt account, or like click on my other account and think it's my main account even though it's my alt account? Big difference. There is a lot of NSFW there, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna change the delay a little bit. This is the behind the scenes with Dirk the Red Panda. Spooky stuff happens. Ooh. Yeah. So, I think it might just be an OBS thing. Because I'm like clicking on it and I look at OBS like, is it working? Is it working? So, yeah. I think I might be lagging behind a bit. I'm gonna do one last test to see if it is just a OBS thing, so I'm gonna quit out of VideoTube, the thing I used to run this, and come back. So, bye everybody! Temporarily. Oh, I guess I didn't disappear. You just can't see my mouth move. Help, Dirk's broken. I am made with unity. Yes, my secret's revealed. It's okay, Rocky, take your time. Alright, I think that's better. Let's test. Spooky! Yep, okay, cool. I just had to unplug it and replug it in. The good old turn it off and back on again method. Anyway, sorry for the long waiting before we start. I just want to explain what's going on and just, yeah, make sure things were working. So yes, this will be day 22. I forgot to put that in the description. I was like, I'm missing something. Here on day 22. Perfect. Managed to ring it in somehow. So, yep. This is a thing. So, we are going to get started exactly on the 10-minute mark. And, oh, I think I forgot to mention, happy 621 day. Or 621 day. However you like to say it. Anyway, let's get started in a sec then, shall we? Alright then, the 10-minute mark has passed, and we are going to begin the reading. In a daze, I was carried and put in bed. Then Dean came to lay down next to me as I started to drift off. The last thing I could feel before I drifted off was Dean cuddling me into his side, and a gentle kiss placed atop my head. The day played through my mind. Not solid enough to form a dream about it, but the events still rang true. The dream, Dom, the talk, Oswin's deal, and the fact that we were on a 2-day timer until we'd be seeing Dom again. Just with Oswin and Roswell leaving, one of which not coming back. But 2 days. That's all we had until the next event was going to happen. Was it a lot of time? Or just a little? The idea kept bouncing in my head between the two. The idea just kept bouncing in my head between the two the more I thought about it. As I opened my eyes, I took a moment to adjust. Carefully, I looked at the ceiling and flexed each of my fingers in turn, making sure that I wasn't asleep. I felt silly that that's what it had come to, but I breathed out knowing I was properly awake.
Good morning, handsome.
You're up early. I sat up in bed, seeing Dean having just finished putting on his pants. You didn't want to cuddle?
Normally I would, but after yesterday, I'm feeling a bit worried about.
His smile faded as he trailed off, wandering over to the window and looking outside.
Guess I couldn't sleep knowing that they might come back.
Even after we were told 2 days?
I think that being told that it's 2 days has made it worse. What if it's not 2 days? If it's sooner, we'll be caught off guard. If it's later, then we're going to be constantly worrying and wondering when the Mafia is coming back.
But what if it is 2 days?
Then we are lucky.
Dean, are you okay? Really?
I just want to be doing more, that's all. I miss being able to freely go and enjoy the greenhouse, or even just looking at the forest from the edge of the yard, or even going in the hot tub.
Dean growled, throwing up his arms briefly.
The hot tub, Dave! Hot tub!
Well, at least there'll be a chance for hot tubs soon, right? Once we get off the mountain, we can go somewhere that has one and just, you know.
I know it might seem silly, but the hot water has always helped with stress. I feel like I'm more stressed than ever after meeting Dom, too.
Because he was a bear, or because he was in the Mafia?
Both. Doesn't help that he's bigger than me and has a gun. What do I have? I'm just a woodsman.
I'd say you're more than that. I got out of bed stretching. For starters, I'm very angry at this. For starters, you have me. But I guess you also have Sal, Tyson, the others. plus an axe. Dean grunted, shaking his head before settling his eyes out of the window. I wouldn't worry about it, Dean. If anything goes wrong and we're needing to head into the woods, you have us covered. I'm sure of it.
Thanks.
Do you feel at least a little better?
I really want to go sit in the hot tub, but I do feel a little better, thanks.
What are you thinking of doing now, then? Speaking of which, I don't know how that was a good transition, but good evening to the people who just joined, including Blythe. Is it Rajay again? I keep forgetting if it was which way to pronounce it, but I think it's Rajay. And then Dragon and Friends. And Blazed. So anyway, what are you thinking of doing this evening, Dean? What are you thinking of doing now, actually?
Sit outside with a cup of coffee and an axe, probably. Just in case.
Just in case?
You're welcome to join me, but I'd rather you stay safe inside.
You're worried about me?
Of course I am. So I want to keep you safe.
I wandered over and gave him a hug, him wrapping his arms around me in kind.
Now, let me get finished getting dressed so we can head downstairs.
Once we made it downstairs, Dean kissed me sweetly on the cheek and I watched as he wandered out the back, leaving me to head towards the kitchen. The moment I stepped into the kitchen, I made for the coffee pot and I got myself sorted. Rationing out a little of the milk from the refrigerator, I took my coffee a little darker than usual. Not that it mattered when the bitter flavor hit my tongue. The warmth and the jolt of the endorphins that came with my favorite drink gave me the jump I needed to properly wake up. Though not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I could feel myself start to take a stock a bit easier. Tomorrow, at some point, Roswell and Oswin would head off with Dom. Then it was a waiting game for Roswell to come back and we'd be able to go home. It didn't really sit all that well with me, but it wasn't as if I had a say in it. Going to the pantry, I was reminded of our food situation. Best not to touch anything in case Orlando already had plans for every little bit in here. Plans to make breakfast went out the window. Oh, here we go again. It's you. It's Thanatos. The faint tapping of his foot on the counter clued me in to him being there before I turned around. But there he was all the same.
Oi, what you doing?
Thinking
About?
stuff and things. Thing stuff.
Stop that.
What else am I supposed to do? No. What else am supposed to do?
Making yourself useful seems like a good start.
And how am I meant to be doing that exactly? Dom is coming tomorrow, right? If we play nice, we get off the mountain, right?
You'd think you'd listen to what I said yesterday. He's a variable.
I still don't really know what you meant by that. Things went all right yesterday. He listened to you. We just have to wait.
You really think it's going to be that simple?
I hope it will be.
What about Jack then?
Oh, he is a variable, alright. Chaotic variable. What about him?
You think he's just going to let all of you walk off the mountain? Think Memphis will do the same?
Yes?
Wrong answer. Well, that's why I said it's variable. Sometimes they don't.
Even after Dom made his deal?
Who do you think you're dealing with, Junior? Really?
It's not like I've had to make deals or talk to the Mafia before. I don't know how this works. I'm just scared. I want to go home. I want to keep my friends safe.
Then think about how you're going to do that.
Can't you just tell me what's not worked already?
Not doing anything doesn't work. There's a clue.
Oh dear God, I would die in this situation. I growled, stepping closer to him, but he took a couple steps back as if expecting me to do something. I hate how you make me feel, by the way. Like I don't have a say in anything. Like I don't have any control. None of this bad stuff would be happening if you weren't around.
You really think so?
I know so. If you weren't a thing, then Memphis wouldn't be trying to get you. People wouldn't have to be dying to test how this thing works. And who knows else?
Take that back. You don't know anything, Dave.
I know enough. I was assaulted by the sound that made me buckle but not pass out. Oh, damn it.
Screw you, Thanatos. You know nothing. You can't even comprehend how many times I've had to watch all of you die. How many times I've been left alone for countless years until I wake up the next time around to do it all again.
I looked up to him, standing at the edge of the counter.
The same conversations, the same questions. And all for what?
I don't...
I'll tell you what it wasn't for, Dave. It wasn't to spend your eternity solving a problem that has no answer.
I don't know.
So when I ask you about Jack, what are you going to do?
What is going on here? Oh, I thought he was going to be more shocked. Oh God, rat! I mean, what is going on in here? Orlando?
Oi, talk some sense into Dave.
Thanatos, the hell did you do to him? I was pulled from the ground and dusted off, Orlando adjusting the coffee cup in my hand before huffing at the rat on the counter.
Nothing that was necessary.
I find that hard to believe. He wants me to think about what I'm doing about Jack. What? You what?
Did I hear that correctly?
I turned to look at Roswell, who seemed out of it, stumbling into the room slightly. You look terrible.
Rude. I feel terrible. What was it about Jack?
Is he here?
Not yet. At the rate we're going, it's unlikely.
That's good, right? Roswell, sit down. You look like you're about to collapse. I'll be fine.
If he's not sitting down in the next minute, he's going to be on the floor and chip one of his tusks.
You're bluffing.
Wait and find out then.
What about the Jack thing? Are we in danger? Orlando caught Roswell as he started to wobble. The minute wasn't close to being up, but I looked across to Thanatos. We should talk, shouldn't we?
Are you willing to listen?
I still don't trust you, Thanatos.
Well, good thing we pivoted away from you all being able to help anyone a long time back. Sale, Hoss and Dean, they're outside. Tyson will be down shortly and join him. I'll be taking Dave for a bit.
What about me and Orlando?
Rest or whatever. Dave will fill you in later.
For what I think was the first time, Thanatos led the way out of the kitchen towards the front door. Not by climbing up on my shoulder, but walking on the floor ahead of me. I opened the door for him, and he stepped out first, with me closing the door behind us soon after. And a quick thanks to Amaryl for the comment about the profile pic. Yes. Happy Pride Month. It's for Pride Month. I'll probably keep it for longer because I just put it up. Anyway, my hand was shaking and I sipped at my coffee, looking out at the trees, trying to spot anything Thanatos seemed to be looking for.
I owe you an apology.
Am I going to get one?
What do you think?
Probably not.
Well, at least you've got that right.
Level with me. Do you hate me? All of us.
That's complicated.
Okay. That's not an answer.
Why does it matter how I answer? What you think of me and what I think of you lot don't matter at all. Things considered. Why does it matter how I answer? What you think of me and what I think of you lot doesn't matter all things considered.
Outside of you needing us to help you anyway.
Naturally. But we're so close. So painfully close.
To
the end. This is almost the end of the hit series visual novel known as Password.
I sat down on the steps leading up to the front door next to Thanatos and continued to drink my coffee. You're talking about our escape? It goes well then?
It can, but that's yet to be seen. Things still need to happen.
I'm just going to assume you're either going to tell me specifically what I need to do or tell me literally nothing and I'm just meant to figure it out.
If you haven't gathered already, you need to have a plan for Jack.
Shoot him. How can he even plan around him? He's fast and has a knife.
More than one, actually.
Unless you can science me up some magical knife-proof armor, I don't think I have what it takes to deal with that.
I've been trying to find a reliable solution myself. Keeping Dominic alive has worked so far.
because he can keep his work buddy in check?
Don't underestimate how much that bear wants an easy job. You're not going to outbid Memphis, but if you can make his life easier while still getting Memphis what he wants, Dom will make sure it happens.
But what if Dom isn't around?
Then we have a problem.
So, we need a contingency plan.
Unless you're keen on getting stabbed.
I drank deep from my coffee, trying to think about it. Could we set a trap? Would a weapon be useful? Escaping? Looking down into my empty cup, I wondered where I could draw some inspiration from. Well, I don't want anyone to get stabbed.
One of you is going to need to be stabbed, though. Might be a little.
God damn it. Need? Who? Why?
Doesn't matter who. But if someone's going to take the fall, then they assume Roswell will get in the way. Doesn't matter who. But if someone's going to take the fall, they assume Roswell will get in the way like he normally does.
And if I don't want Roswell stabbed?
You offering to take his place.
I didn't like the idea of getting stabbed, but I didn't like the idea of the others getting hurt more.
Careful, Junior. Show any more courage, and I think you're developing a hero complex.
It's not that. I just want my friends to be safe.
Yeah, I know. Heard that enough times that's basically imprinted by now. Not as if telling you to give up and letting them die is going to be much different.
What did you say?
What?
Were you the reason I was thinking those things?
I don't know what you're talking about.
God damn it. The thing! Telling me to give up. To let my friends die.
If only.
I reached out to grab him and he just hopped backwards out of reach.
Careful, Dave.
You know something, don't you? I knew what happened the moment everything went black. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I swore at Thanos' ability to just knock me out whenever he wanted. At least, I was getting used to the sensation. I knew what was happening. God, again. When I opened my eyes, I was restrained somewhere dark. Off in the corner against some sort of rusted pipe. I could smell blood. My face was dripping, my head ringing.
Reckon the boss made the right call.
Tom, buddy, pal, friend.
You can just say yes.
Look, I don't know. Don't care. I just want to know when he can get some action. I'm so bored.
Could always go say hello to your friend if he's conscious.
I could hear the glee in Jack's voice as he made a sound somewhere between a mix of a gasp and a squeal. Whatever it was, though, it made me sick to my stomach.
Jack, could you not? I have a headache.
Oh, spoil sport. Not like I have Memphis to mess with. I strained to look from where I was, but not only was I not in control, their voices still echoed from far enough away that I got they were deeper into the mill. Things started to fade away when I heard footsteps getting closer. I couldn't tell whose, but from where they started, it couldn't have even been either Dom or Jack. When I opened my eyes next, I was greeted with the sun and a small throbbing headache. Ow. Ow. I was flat on my back, staring upwards with Thanatos just off to the side. He looked over my way once I'd made a sound and got closer. What happened?
I'll take credit for that.
I could feel myself start to get angry, but something stopped me. Something seemed off. Familiar. You made me pass out again. Why? Thanatos gave me a look, eyes narrowing before he responded.
For fun.
What kind of person even does that? Why, I'm hardly a person. Or wait, what? Jesus Christ, who is this voice? What kind of person even does that? Well, I'm hardly a person, am I? Fuck. Looking over to Thanatos, he seemed confused about something, and I thought I knew that. And I thought I knew what. What kind of person even does that?
Well, I'm
hardly a person, are you? Hardly a person. Right. Me finishing his sentence gave him pause. Was he suspicious? Was it all just a big coincidence?
On a more serious note, 2 questions for you.
I don't know what I'm going to do about Jack. There isn't many options for us, is there?
What are you playing at?
Huh?
You know what you're doing.
What was the second thing? You want to ask, I mean.
It's about what you saw in the little dream I just gave you now.
You mean memory?
Semantics.
I didn't reply, trying to understand how this conversation was going. It was like my dream, except I knew how it was going to go. Well, this time, anyway.
Details, Dave.
It's basically what happened yesterday, except... Thanatos clapped in my direction to wake me up. I was maybe zoning out a little too much, being roused from my thoughts to look at him.
The hell's wrong with you?
What?
You know what?
I probably need therapy.
Yeah, among other things. From your perspective, have we had this conversation before?
Sort of?
Well, you tell me what happens next then.
How about a test?
I ask you a question, you give me the answer.
And if I get it right?
Then we'll know you've been through this all before, and I'll treat you to something nice.
And then the question is...
where is the Leo medal?
Under the train tracks, I mean. My throat felt dry. In the place where Osman does his best work?
Fuck off.
Do I pass?
You must have had this conversation before.
Didn't we talk about this the other day? I feel like this was just part of the regular day. Didn't we? Or am I going crazy? I remember that line specifically. I don't know why. It was just ingrained in my head from the last update. Maybe I'm starting to become password crazy. I need to get my conspiracy board out. I don't have a conspiracy board yet, but I guess I'll just have to settle with writing things on paper. Where is it? looking for my dang notebook. Not exactly?
Then how do you know?
Last night, the dream I had. You said you didn't cause it, but... Then just scratched his chin, thinking it over.
You're right. I didn't.
Which means...
You're remembering. I don't know how still, but you're remembering.
Have I remembered before?
Sometimes. It's inconsistent.
Huh. I scratched my head, unsure of what I was meant to do with that information.
What did you see when I put you under just now?
The inside of a watermill. At least I'm pretty sure it was there from what I remember when I was there last.
Anything else?
Dominic and Jack were there, talking about something. I was bleeding, maybe. Tied up to something in the corner, though.
Interesting.
Interesting, good or bad?
Just interesting. Something to think about.
Because you're not giving me a lot to go off of.
Just because it's interesting to me doesn't mean it's going to be interesting to you.
Fine. Keep your secrets. God damn it, did you really have to put that line in there?
Besides, you probably want to know where the Leo medal is.
Well, yeah. The place where Oswin does his best work, so... The lab?
No.
What do you mean, no? Am I going crazy? Oh, okay, it was part of the daydreams. I knew I was onto something. So if it's not the lab, is it technically the library then? Or the chessboard? Maybe it's under the chessboard, because he did work technically with Roswell on the chessboard. I gotta start writing the conspiracies down. But screw it, I am going to do that. Oh god, I'm gonna get a paper cut. This is part of the password plot, me getting a paper cut. Actually, no, I didn't. But it's a potential ending. Oh god. Alright. Okay, where's my eraser? Okay. Until I get a whiteboard, I'm going to start drawing this out here. The lab, so... Lab is not it, so... Sorry, I'm taking time to write the word password notes. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to turn on my camera for this. You could see me here and up here. I don't know if this is better. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna... I'm behind myself. I'm gonna spook myself right now. Wait. Hi. Alright. We're gonna just do that for now. This is me temporarily being here. Alright, so... Password notes. I was starting to write... Where Oswin does his best work. Okay, so lab is off the list. There's a Florence Nightingale parallel here somewhere, right? I don't know. There's Florencia, so I mean, we got a Florencia situation going on with Austin's sister. So no lab. Could it be? What was the thing I was thinking about? Chessboard. Chessboard's the next one. All right, let's see. So, what do you mean, no? Bye. That isn't where he does his best work. So you're saying he's a shitty scientist? Oh, because her best work was actually campaigning for improvements to hospitals. Oh. Because because she considered her time as a doctor a complete failure. Oh, interesting. So she was best at campaigning rather than doing the actual hospitaling work, I guess. I don't know. But how can we make campaigning a location? We're going to write that down. That's the next one. Florence Nightingale. Thank you to Blazed. Campaigning for hospitals. Not as doctor. Okay, that is our next conspiracy. Where does he do his best work? Then, where? Let's go for a walk. God damn it. Thanatos climbed up my shoulder and guided me back inside. From there, it was towards the stairs leading up. Okay, my next one was going to be library. That was my... Okay, that's the same line. Library. What was the other thing that was not the library where it's like, was it the museum library? Was it library and or museum? Okay, that's our next guess. We got 4 ideas right now. So, over there. Okay, I knew it was going to be the library. I followed his outstretched arm to a bookcase and tilted my head. That's good. Is this going to be like the bookcase that like opens us to go to like the thing? You want me to grab a book?
2, actually.
Oh god, 2 books, man. You're making this so complicated. And the metal is going to be inside?
In a sense.
How can a single metal be inside 2 books? Is it broken or... I took a step back, looking over the bookcase. This is like one that leads to the library from the conservatory, isn't it? Conservatory, that was the thing. Password gang, we are onto something.
Well done. The 2 you want are those.
Conservatory opening books. In library. Take notes. So I'm getting a plus here. So that's a plus. So that's also plus library. Gotta cross off museum. pointed two books, neither of which looked out of place, but that seemed to be the point. Much like the other bookcase, I heard the click.
Now, just push that aside and we can go in.
Inside, it seemed fairly ordinary as rooms went. Nothing seemed off in any case. Just a small desk with the walls lined with books on what shelves were available. Has this been here the whole time? I sat Thanatos down on the desk and looked around.
Sure has. Normally, Oswald uses it. Couple others have found it already, too.
We are moving on. We are making progress. Small desk. Maybe this will help us figure out more conspiracies. That's why I'm writing it down.
Who? Roswell and Hoss both have. Not that they did anything with the information. Not that they did anything with it after seeing the room was empty.
Ross and Haas. Oh, I was about to spell Roswell with two W's. Whoops! So wait, do they know about the book? So they found the table at least. But they've done nothing. What does this mean? Could it mean that they're bad investigators? Huh.
Time's ticking. You're looking for a book.
Looking for a book. Oh, the book is in the conservatory. So another secret passage? I wish I could do better with shorthand. I am just scribbling. But seriously, another secret passage?
Not this time. Oswald's sister hid this one away too.
Florencia! Florence! We are on to something. Florence! I'm underlining that. Are you sure the book or the... Wait, so did Florencia hide the medal or the book itself? Oswald's sister hid it away too. What does it mean? What does it all mean? Oh, good time to get on. Evening, everyone, and Dirk. Thanks, Malgrim, for dealing with my insanity. Alright. Then what's the book? Oh, God. Are you serious? Are you freaking serious? 3 little pigs. Sorry, the 3 little pigs. Jesus Christ.
The 3 little pigs.
Okay, I know that one.
Not this version.
Oh, different version. Asterisk. Not the children's story. Oh. How's this one different?
You want me to tell you a story, or do you want the medal?
Both?
Find the book and I'll give you the abridged version.
Any clues, or should I just start searching?
Get looking. I'll wait.
I started at one end and started slowly scanning the books with my fingers running over the spines, making sure I didn't miss any by accident. I took it slow. While I look, can I ask you something?
What?
Why do you mess with Oswin so much? Like, if he's not your master, then why do, I guess, any of the things you do with him? Or do to him, sorry.
It's fun.
I get that, but there's no other reason. It's just fun, and that's it.
It keeps the boredom at bay. Also, if he's so proud of being the smartest one in the room, he can stand to be humbled.
Is he really the smartest one here? Oswin, smartest one in the room?
Well, it's for sure not you, Junior.
Roswell's pretty smart. What about him? I don't think Roswell's gonna compare to an actual scientist.
It's hard to say. Those two in the same room is interesting to watch without me needing to do anything. So I just sit back and enjoy the show.
What about Roswell? This could play onto something. You want to see my notes so far? I am taking hardcore notes. Welcome back to me in real life. I was going to try and do that a little more cleverly, but I think I clicked the wrong one. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye, animated me, and hello, real life me. So far, so good. Oh shit, I'm like holding it with the wrong hand. Ah! I don't know if it's like clear enough. This is my conspiracy. Oh shoot, you can see my acne. Not a good day to show my face again. This is why I haven't shown my face. But yes, Three Little Pigs could mean something. Different version. We got Roswell and Haas, both are in here. They have found stuff on the desk. Or they found the desk but haven't done anything with it. And we talked about Florence Nightingale earlier because of her campaigning with hospitals. So potential interest. And back to animated me.
But yeah, I just sit back and enjoy the show.
Anyone else compare, or... Oh, Sal. Anyone else compare? This could be interesting for if there's a hostage situation. According to the password Bible.
Sale, perhaps. Again, it's hard to say, though, for that one. It's because he doesn't say much to me.
I'm gonna put a minus on that. Fair enough. Oh. If the place where he does his best work is where he writes letters, then the parallel is definitely real. Okay. Best work writing letters, question mark?
My turn. Why do you want to know?
For the dang notes! Oh, I was about to call you Oswin.
Why do you want to know? For the dang notes, Thanatos! I need my notes!
You already know. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking, right?
After catching me off guard with your recollection of Leo Metal, best to double check everything.
We still don't know who your master is, so any clue might help. Thanatos nodded slowly, holding my gaze.
Stop! You're touching the book now.
Looking back at where my hand was, I hooked my finger into the top of its spine and pulled it carefully from its spot on the shelf. So, it's here, huh?
Well, no point waiting. Open it up and get the medal.
Okay, I'm going. Chessboard is out of the question. So we went into the library, and it's in the book. I'm circling that.
Come on, hurry up now.
Okay, Thanatos, I'm going! I did so and found the section of it hollowed out. The pages hadn't been glued together, but the bulk of the book, or maybe its age, kept the thing together. This is a bulky children's story.
Nothing about the story is for children, Dave.
Carefully setting the book down, I picked up the medal. Leo. Chula. But that wasn't all that book. But that's all that wasn't the book. But that wasn't all that was in the book. A lone photograph left underneath it. We found the book. Alright, I gotta write this down. We found the book. What is the lone paragraph? What's this? There's a photo. Includes...
Take it in, Dave. Who do you think those three are?
Well, it's obviously Oswin and his siblings, right?
That's right.
But why is this here?
You'd have to ask Florencia, which is a bit hard at the moment.
Yeah, it's just so strange.
Go on.
That Oswin was a kid once, like us? That the people here were once just kids.
And?
Did they go through anything like this? If they did, could that be why it's happening to us? I stared closer at the photo, rubbing my thumb over the glossy print. Why was this left here? Wait a minute, did I misread it as, like, I thought I saw a paragraph. Oh, photograph it was. Jesus Christ. Sorry, folks. I did not. I thought it was going to be a full paragraph. I underlined lone paragraph, and I'm like, where the heck is the paragraph? Silly me. Anyway. B. B's in chat. I stared closer at the photo, rubbing my thumb over the glossy print. Why was this left here? Who was it left for? Surely not me, right? Here it is. Here's the quote. Remember. Remember. Take notes. Remember what is most important, Oz. Flora. I was about to say Florencia. Remember, I will never forget that. One with a scribble. This is very important. If you get this wrong, you're not going to win the password game if you don't draw the flower right. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta make sure that scribbled bottom does not get misinterpreted as another petal. So we have 4. 4 petals. One of them is on top, and it looks like a clover, except with an extra leaf on the right. I'm trying to draw that bottom part. I totally can't get it. Oh. Looking at the writing on the back, I was left with even more questions. Though, at the very least, who had written this was at least obvious. Flora, huh?
There'd be Florencia. Or at least what Oswald and Reginald called her.
Called her that. Sorry if I just pause because I'm taking my damn notes. Makes sense given the photo, I guess. I put the photo back in the book and placed it back on the shelf, pocketing the medal. Free medal! We have found the Leo medal. We found the Leo medal. What are you oh, that's Thanatos asking.
What are you planning on doing with that?
I don't know. Show the others for starters, and then leave it with the rest.
And
while I'm at it, think about what I'm going to do about Jack.
Good.
That's our next topic. Jack. What are we going to do? What to do about it? But I don't know what you could possibly expect me to do. Have I done anything notable in the past, or...
Don't know. Whatever happens, it happens out in the woods.
Man, my writing has gotten so much slower since I'm not in college anymore. College would be like, you have to write like 50 million like words per minute before the professor goes on to the next page. And I remember I could talk at the same time.
Way outside my maximum range.
Way outside my max range. Thanatos. And no one tells you afterwards?
Let's just say other things get in the way.
Oh, man, I could see why people do like the arrows instead of the quote marks. It'd be way easier. Just used to American grammar doing it the other way. Or, well, this way, not the arrows. Alright, well... I'm just going to accept that and figure it out. Maybe I'll ask the others?
There you go.
But before I go, what happens in this version of the story?
Right.
What does happen?
So the story is the same for the most part. 3 little pigs, or no, just 3 plain old pigs. 3 pigs, 3 houses, you get the gist.
Same basic premise. / exposition. You got this? Then, what's different?
There's no wolf. There's 2 wolves inside you, and both are gay. And they're both Tyson.
Interesting. Then how does the story function? Isn't the Big Bad Wolf kind of important to how the story goes?
The first little pig leaves home, gets sick, then dies. Poisoned by the influence of the outside world, and ultimately done in by a rabbit that offered them a piece of chocolate.
Jeez, chocolate kills like that? Sheesh. Clearly not the Easter Bunny then.
The second goes somewhere far away is presumed dead. This one is also offered chocolate, but instead turned into a rabbit. But that's as good as dead from the author's eyes.
The author was Oswin. I took a moment to look for an author's name on the spine, but nothing stood out.
And the third...
survived?
Nope, also died.
Never mind.
Yes.
And that's it? He just survived?
They survived, yes. Though the rabbit didn't. Cooked alive in the house after trying to burn it down.
Interesting. Gotta write this down. Pig 1. Left home. Poisoned by chocolate. Or maybe not poisoned. Death by chocolate. There's a big difference. Pig 2. Left home. Ate chocolate, turned into rabbit. Hold on. Let me get the real life camera out. This is serious right now. Ate chocolate, turned into burned alive while setting house on fire. Pig 3 survived. That's really not a children's story. This sounds like something like Grimm's or whatever, where it's like, not like the original whatever Grimm's, but like the one where it's like there's a TV series and they're like, let's make the series of children's stories grittier. So, here we go. Notes so far. I should probably post this on like Twitter or my Discord. We should probably make a password channel for this, or I should post my notes to the password channel. Or Discord. There is a password Discord. I don't know if I have a link for it. Here are the notes. So far, we got this. This is the current story we got. Other way. Here's the pig story. No wolf. And we have It's Not Children's Story. Burnt house. brother's going possibly. Anyway, let's continue then. Sorry for getting completely unhinged. I'm back to normal. So yeah, that's really not a children's story. But this is important in case we have any rabbit similarities. Notice, rabbit.
I told you that already. No need to have a sweeping epic for children when there aren't any pictures either.
How can I read this? There's no pictures. I'm gonna put an arrow here. This could be interesting. Jack Pyrotechnic. What do they call it? Is it Pyromaniac? Jack Pyromaniac? That is my connection. We are gonna have to put the strings together on that one. Clipboard someday.
Yeah. There aren't any pictures either.
Except the book did have a picture.
You know what I meant!
I think what bothers me is there wasn't really a lesson to learn, was there? Just that be wary of rabbits because they're going to poison you or turn you into one of them. Or, I guess, try and burn down your house?
It's like being wary of rabbits specifically. There was no lesson.
So, rabbit speciesism, got it. Racist?
Pretty much. Regis liked to have such books on hand, apparently.
Oh. Nickname Regis, not even Reggie. So Regis or Reginald. Regis Hammond?
Right.
Oh, never mind. Wrong one. Incorrect. Regis is the dad. Other notes. Where do I put this? Crap. Regis Hammond. Osman's dad.
Right. Meaning that be Osman's father.
Huh. Alright. Yes, he did call him Reggie. Okay. We did have that earlier. I was like, am I crazy? Because I swear he was called Reggie. Or at least I would assume he would be called Reggie. Huh. Alright.
Before I forget, probably best you head downstairs now before you miss it. I'll catch up.
Something important?
You'll find out when you get there.
I left Thanatos in the study and headed back downstairs with the Leo medal in my hand.
Just, what else are we meant to do?
I froze on the spot and decided to listen in, wondering what was happening. Not to worry about it, simply.
But, Dean, he said not to worry about it.
I could hear Oswin grunt before making a move to leave, but his footsteps came to a halt and he called out. Dave, I know you're there. Come on down. What's going on? Roswell's sick. Next chapter. Roswell is officially sick. Tragedy must be recorded.
Roswell's sick.
Well, yeah, we knew.
Really sick.
How sick is really sick? Oswin put a hand on my shoulder, shaking his head. You'll be fine, comparatively to, well, dying. I am paraphrasing. I am too lazy to put that whole thing in the quote. Damn you, Oswald. Opposed to dying.
That's not much of a comfort. Can he have medicine?
And what medicine would you want me to give him? I could knock him out, but he'd still feel the pain. I can numb the pain, but he'd be wandering around in a daze and likely a danger to himself. As opposed to what? What's he like now? Aside from tired, he seemed alright before.
He looks like he's just run a mile. But it's his eyes. They're so dilated.
Would you rather him conscious or asleep? Sounds like he'd be better asleep. Fine, if he consents, then I'll put him under. Okay, symptom. Looks like he's ran a mile and eyes dilated. What does it mean? Oh, I totally missed that line. I gave Oswin a look, and he seemed to not notice, scratching his beard. Now, if you'll excuse me... When did this all happen, anyway?
We came inside to get coffee and almost ran into Roswell. Well, we did actually. Almost knocked him over and had Orlando rushing out to help.
And then you were planning on coming to get me?
That was the plan.
Where's Haas and Tyson?
They split off to look for something to help. No clue as to where they ended up.
Let's go check in on Roswell then. I'm curious to know if Oswin is actually going to help or not. Roswell, please. I'm fine! Boy, you are not fine and you know it. Roswell was on the floor and Oswin was supporting his back as he knelt beside him. Now, I'll ask you again. Which option did you want to go with? I can't sleep. I have to keep... Roswell. What did you do? Is he okay? Did he just... Passed out. I didn't give him anything if you were wondering. This is bad, isn't it? What do we do? Frequent fainting. We let him rest. All this excitement is likely wearing him down faster than if he were leisurely waiting out the clock. Oswin picked up Roswell carefully, shifting him to carry him on his back. I'll go put him to bed. You figure out among yourselves what you want to be doing next. Oh dear God. There was a look on Oswin's face as he carried Roswell out of the room. Somewhere between grim and absent.
Well, at least he's in the care of a doctor.
He's not a doctor anymore. He's more qualified than any of us are.
But it's really interesting. But it's really happening, isn't it? Roswell, you know? Dying.
I shifted uncomfortably on the spot, not liking the prospect. It's the most likely thing that's afflicting him. Although if it is, oh wait, that's Sal, never mind, sorry.
It's the most likely thing that's afflicting him. Although if it is, I don't think there's much we can do aside from making him comfortable. But so soon? I thought we had more time.
I guess not. I stepped back out into the foyer and immediately called out, Thanatos!
No need to yell. I'm already here.
He was sitting on the stairs patiently, clearly knowing I was going to come yelling. What's happening with Roswell?
What do you think?
What do we do?
Nothing? Not as if there's anything to do about it.
But what about tomorrow? Wasn't he meant to go with Oswin? He's in no state to go anywhere.
Everything's going as it should. Don't you worry.
You knew this was going to happen and didn't say anything?
Why? What would you have done if I told you? Not as if you could cure him.
But Thanatos!
Sheesh. You go cry my name out like that and I'm going to put you under again.
He stood up and made a show of dusting his hands off before gesturing me closer.
Or maybe we should go downstairs so you can give putting in the password a try.
Oh crap, I have no clue what it's gonna be. There's a password?
There might be.
I'm in danger.
Oh, he doesn't have the normal tells, but he's almost certainly lying.
Who would you rather believe, Dave? That even a question?
Haas. Absolutely for sure. Believe Haas.
Real nice, Junior.
High five. Good job, Haas. You get a cookie. Ty made a move to kick Thanatos off the stairs, but was effortlessly sidestepped. Tyson getting his ankles broken by a tiny rat.
Listen, you want some help or not?
Help for Roswell or help for what exactly?
Dave, think about what he's offering you.
I'm thinking.
I've been thinking too.
What about?
Say they come for us tomorrow, right? Why don't we just fucking bail?
Big dog, we've talked about that not being an option.
Nah, I get the road thing. I mean, just not be in the fucking house.
I don't get it.
You mean we just be outside?
Hide in the woods or whatever, yeah.
You do not want to hide in the woods, Tyson.
Wait until they get bored and just come back when they leave. Yeah, go ahead and try that.
That tone almost sounds like it's not going to work.
You tell me. What do you think?
I scratched my chin, thinking it over. If we hide nearby so we know when it's safe to come back, you've probably seen it. Which means you know how well that goes even if we don't come back.
I'll save you the effort and say that they know the woods better than you do. There's less of them, and Dean and Dominic are about equivalent. Sounds like we're screwed.
Unless the exchange tomorrow goes well, right?
With Roswell like he is, though, we're kinda...
We'll just have to think of something. That's all.
I looked at Thanatos, his smile never once fading. I already knew what it was that he was implying by it, too. Yeah. Something.
Well, I don't know shit.
It's not that hard to track, Tyson.
Now. We don't need to be so hasty there. Who knows what the morning will bring?
But it's not even lunchtime. Day 22 morning is when Roswell gets sick. Good note.
Hardly the point he's making, Dave.
Well, whatever the point is, I have no idea what we're meant to be doing now. Do us a favor and take care of Dave for a bit. Time for me to have a chat with Hoss and Orlando.
About what?
We'll get to that when you've taken me to Orlando.
I'm not giving you a lift.
Haas was already walking back towards the dining room, ignoring Thanatos' gesture to be let up. I'm just imagining him like a little baby, just like holding his hands out, like, uppies. Like, uppies. Give me uppies. And Haas is like,
No.
oh man. That is so adorable. Just little rat tried to get uppies.
Not this time either, huh? You probably mess up his mane or whatever. In any case, you do some talking. I'll check in later.
He ran after Haas, disappearing into the other room.
So, we gotta talk.
He looked around before sizing me up. Guess so. Lead the way, Ty. We headed upstairs and Tyson dropped into a chair, choosing to watch me pick up one for myself as well. So, we should talk.
Fuck knows what about, though.
Ty, there's nothing at all that comes to mind?
Okay, yeah. There's something. Don't know how important it is, though.
Could it be a little important if Thanatos wanted us to talk?
Alright, though. It's about getting off the mountain, yeah?
What about it?
So, say someone goes into the woods with that Dom guy, right? How do we know they're coming back?
You don't think they will?
We know Roswell's not fucking going unless he gets better real quick. Even then, I don't think he's gonna make it.
She's harsh, but I get where you're coming from.
Right. So, I'm gonna go.
No, Tyson, no! You? Why?
I can see him in the dark, and I'm not about to go leaving you on this mountain if I find a way out.
You didn't consider escaping then and there and getting help?
I reckon that's what someone like Dean or Sal might do, but fuck that.
Oh boy, the Tyson route's gonna get interesting once we get back to his. You don't think they'd come back? They wouldn't just abandon us? Or at least, I don't think so.
Don't know. Didn't consider to think, or don't know. Didn't consider it when I knew you'd. Jesus Christ, I am stumbling over my words. Don't know. Didn't think to consider it when I know you.
Why is that one line getting me?
Snap out of it, Tyson. Don't know. Didn't think to consider it when I know I'd come back.
But you could escape and get the police. Take the escape while you have it before something else happens.
And then come back to find out you've all been killed?
Oh.
All I'm saying is that I don't want to find out later that you've gone and died when I could have been around to keep you safe.
But what if you're the one being put in danger by going out there? I don't want to find out that you've been killed either.
So, that's the rub, huh? We have to pick someone expendable.
I don't like the sound of that either.
Well, tough luck. We don't have a choice, do we? Either we send someone, or we give up finding that way home.
He was trying to keep my gaze, but he seemed troubled by the idea as well. Was there anyone that we'd be willing to just let go just in case the worst happens? Would it be a case of having to pick at random?
Here's another thing I want to run by you too.
What's that?
When we get home, wanna go to the beach.
Wait, what?
When we get out of here, go on a proper vacation.
It was a quick smile, but he flashed me one to test my mood.
Just us, the Holloway brothers. We'll go get some ice cream or something. You know, like last time or whatever.
Might have to consider letting me bring my boyfriend along for the ride.
I am your boyfriend. I mean, wait, wrong route.
He wasn't listening, already shaking his head, having decided how things were going to go.
Fine, whatever. Point is, it'll be great.
The conversation seemed to die there, though, fading into silence. The silence. The silence stretched until Tyson started to rub his head, eyes on the floor.
I'm just worried.
Me too.
Do you think that's what the rat wanted us to talk about? Just that we're worried?
Honestly, I have no clue. Ty, he's just... I don't know.
So, I've been wanting to ask something else if that's cool.
What is it? I need to write this note down first, I'm sorry. I'm taking notes of Tyson's sacrifice. Anyway, what is it?
So that rabbit is probably gonna be back at some point now that he's not alone. So are you like gonna be fine with that?
No. Well, probably not. Probably not. He almost killed me.
Okay. Good.
Good?
I mean, I'm not liking the idea of him coming back. So I want to do something about it.
Hey, we got plot. We got the full circle. Tyson wants to do something about Jack. Can't imagine somebody trying to like make a summary about this story. It would be like hours long. So I want to do something about it.
Alright, so I want to do something about it.
Such as?
Been trying to figure out what sort of trap we could set. Or if we could just get Benson to shoot him. It'd make our lives a bit easier.
Wouldn't that just annoy Dominic? That would be not very cash money for him. He'd be so annoyed. That would make him very peeved. That'd be very cringe for him to see.
Who the fuck cares?
Because they're work buddies?
And?
Wouldn't that upset him? Yes, when I work with coworkers, they are my livelihood. Ow, I hit myself. God damn.
Again. And?
Won't he want to, like, get revenge? I could see the cogs turning in Tyson's head slowly as he reasoned out what I'd said.
Shit.
Thanatos has been on my case about trying to figure out what to do about Jack, but I'm getting the impression that there really isn't anything we can do after all.
Maybe do nothing.
That's what I said! He says that doesn't turn out well either.
And if he's lying?
Yeah, I'm taking conspiracy notes. I don't have any sort of corkboard or whiteboard yet, but someday I will. I do have the pins. I do have push pins. I just need to get like the string and stuff to like wrap it up or whatever. Like the thread. I think that's how they do it, right? Like they do that like with the string or whatever. They rope it around the pins. But is it push pins or is it a different type of pin? Because I do have push pins. I don't have like whatever the flat ones are that you stick in. But I think it might be push pins. Come on, where the heck are my push pins? Where's my conspiracies? Oh, there they are. There you are, you little conspiracies. You'll get a sore thumb with that many tacks. Probably. Are you talking about the flat ones that you push in fully, or... Jeez, I have to look up what a conspiracy board looks like. Dirk makes conspiracy board without knowing what it looks like.
Dude, I don't know. How about you just leave Jack to me? I'll think of something.
I guess that's fine. I watched as Tyson stood from his chair and came closer. He pulled me carefully to my feet and looked me in the eye.
I love you, you dork.
Aw, I love you too, Tyson, in a very straight, normal way. Before I could get a word out, he had his arms around me in a tight hug. He started to rub my back, and I hugged him back, breathing out. Part of me knew what was at stake already, knowing our lives were on the line. But holding Ty like this and having him hold me back really cemented it. At any moment, I could lose this. I could lose what I had with any of my friends, and the pit in my stomach grew to the point I just started trembling. I thought of Roswell dying. I thought of everyone in danger already. And as my trembling grew, Tyson's grip around me tightened.
Hey, you're alright. How about we head back down? See how things are going there.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I do have some good conspiracy thoughts. We did get a Florencia connection with Florence Nightingale, kind of. Not like as in confirmed, like this is what it really is confirmed truth, but like we made a connection based on our chat earlier. And yes, narrator, it was not fine. Alright. Here we go. Orlando drama. Give me the tea. Hoss, it's a rat.
Sure.
Everyone seemed to be already there by the time Tyson and I arrived, with the notable exception of Roswell. Him plus Oswin and Benson, but I assumed they were off making sure Roswell was treated with whatever they could give him. Or at least that's what I opened. What's going on? Thanatos is being a menace.
Am not.
You kinda are.
What's he doing, though?
Nothing.
What do you mean? You came in here wanting to talk to me, but started talking nonsense.
I wouldn't say nonsense, but he was absolutely looking to pick a fight with someone.
Shoot, I totally mispronounced the joke I was gonna say.
I wouldn't say nonsense.
There we go. My cat joke for the day is done. What did he say?
With Roswell at the commission, I just wanted to see if Orlando wanted to go see his dad.
Jesus Christ, Thanatos! You're gonna get canceled on Twitter for that! I don't want to see my dad! I don't think any of us do!
He also followed it up by saying that Orlando's life is pretty expendable, to which a good deal after was spent making sure Orlando didn't roast him. Figuratively and literally.
Yeah, probably. Good that he doesn't. For now.
It does raise an important question, though. Go for it, big guy. If Roswell is out of commission, how is that going to affect the exchange tomorrow?
Well, I guess one of us would need to go instead, right? No way he's going to be able to find out where we're going and come back.
In a sense.
I looked at Thanatos with a frown. The bad feeling I had from before was returning, but I kept my mouth shut.
Well, if Oswin is going in regardless, and it needs to be one other, I volunteer. Was just talking about it with Dave.
Dude, no offense, but are we sure that's the right call?
The fuck do you mean by that? I will end you. I mean, what do you mean?
You're on edge already. Wink.
Fine, I'll be serious.
You're on edge already. I don't see you calmly following along, seeing the way out and calmly coming back to grab us.
Dude.
Points for volunteering, but there's someone more suitable. And his name rhymes with rave.
You're not going to suggest yourself, are you? The moment they pull out a gun, we're fucked.
Dude!
We should consult with Oswin, shouldn't we? I would volunteer, but I feel I'm ill-equipped should we run into Memphis.
Why?
I feel like he'll insist I stick around for a chat when returning is the priority.
Oh. And that will be a good distraction.
For similar reasons, Orlando doesn't make a good choice either.
But all that leaves is, well, Benson, myself, and Dean.
Except now that we know Memphis has a bear in his group, he might try recruiting Tyson the same way he'd try and recruit me.
So, Benson and me. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me.
Well, Benson then, surely. If anything goes wrong, he can take care of himself.
Unless they knock him off while they have the chance and leave the rest of us defenseless.
Recruit Tyson. Tyson would definitely be a threat. I could feel everyone's eyes lock on me, and I felt I was going to be sick.
Well, Dave's out too. I agree.
Yeah, it was not where I was expecting this to lead.
Dave falls into the same category as Orlando. Except instead of Memphis putting him on edge, it'd be Jack.
So we're left with no one.
Well, shit. Now what? If someone has to go, we're just going to have to pick someone. In which case...
In which case, I'll be the one that decides. Puts finger on glasses, does the eyeglass shimmer. Oswin was standing in the doorway when he spoke, and promptly approached so he was standing with the rest of us. God damn it, every time I see Oswin, he reminds me of like an old volleyball coach I had. Just every time I see him with the glasses and the scraggly beard, I'm like, it's him! That guy is in Password! He's also like very sciencey too and like very logical, so I'm like, just personality wise, I'm just like, I can't not see it. Oh man. Oh, did I read that line? Osman was standing in the doorway when he spoke, and promptly approached so he was standing with the rest of us. Admittedly, everything I caught Sal saying stands up to scrutiny. We don't have any good options with Roswell's current condition. How is he? Would you like the good news or the bad news?
The bad first.
I think it would be best to prepare yourself for Roswell's passing sooner rather than later. Shit. His condition is not improving as to be expected, but in addition, it's worsening with every bit of stress that crops up. Rather than let the bad news linger in the air, I cut in near immediately. What's the good news? The good news is that he's stable. I've medicated him so he's sleeping soundly for now. He'll probably sleep the rest of the day away, so I wouldn't go expecting him to make an appearance later. What about the pain? It was his choice. A moment of lucidity to inform me that he'd be more useful asleep.
What does that even mean?
Any number of things. Indeed. The more pressing matter we have is figuring out who of you is going to be accompanying me into the woods.
Yeah, plenty of volunteers, it seems like.
That doesn't make it any easier. Ideally, I'd like to go with Roswell, given reasons that need not be explained again. But I'll have to consider who our best option is moving forward.
And just so we're clear, Benson isn't being considered.
That's right. I feel he's best utilized covering the escape after you know where you're going. Or, in the worst case, where no one returns, you're not left to fend for yourselves.
We looked at each other uncertain. The plan we had was for now out of the window, and no one seemed happy about it.
There's something else I want to show everyone. It might not be much, but my eyes went to Thanatos briefly before I dug around in my pocket, placing the Leo medal carefully on the table. Leo.
Leo? Not...
It's Leo.
It's Leah. Trust me.
Oh.
Alright. Where was it found?
In the place where Oswin does his best work.
Excuse me?
Do you kiss your grandmother with that mouth? That was the clue I was given by Thanatos.
Real nice throwing me under the bus there, Junior.
Would you be so lucky that he'd have thrown you under the bus when they arrived? Alas, you have some explaining to do in lieu of no bus.
He means the study. Not like it's any big secret. We didn't go into your lab without you being there, if that's what you're worried about.
The study? Yeah, we found it inside a book.
Was it a special... Oh, God. Was it a special book?
Well, Oswin's sister had hollowed out the inside of it to hide the medal and a picture inside. A picture of what? I went to speak, but he was already moving, almost breaking out into a run as he cleared the dining room.
I need to see this right now.
So what was the picture of, given he wasn't willing to stick around to hear you out?
It was him as a kid, with his brother and sister.
Oh, is that all?
Well, yeah,
And it was with the medal.
Also, yes.
And there was nothing special about the photo. No additional clues.
There was a note on the back written by his sister, I think. Something about remembering what was most important.
What could be most important?
What indeed? Mr. Thanatos, do you know what is most important to Oswin? Sure do. It's his frosted cereal. And of course Roswell had to take the last of it. I mean...
Don't bother, Sal. He's not going to help us.
He might.
If it was a picture of him and his siblings, then it would be family, right? Or at the very least, his brother and sister.
Do you think that he'd have forgotten that?
Who really knows? It's not as if any of us have a functional family life.
Now hold on. My family is just fine, thank you very much. With Dean being the exception, I think. I see what you're saying. As hard as it is to hear.
It can't all be bad, can it?
I'm not going to speak for anyone other than yourself, but the pattern seems to be there.
Mine's in the Mafia. Haas and Sal are estranged from theirs. Roswell's is dealing with him dying early and aren't even there for his final moments. We're his family, aren't we? Just like Fast and the Furious, we are family. That's true, although not exactly the same.
Then there's what you and Tyson have. Everyone, with the exception of Dean, seems to struggle with family life.
It's not just me that finds that just a little suspicious, right? Does this mean we're gonna sacrifice Dean?
What's wrong with me having a good family?
We're not going to find out that you and Dom are secretly cousins or something, are we? Orlando, they were different.
You could say that they were different kinds of bears. That's not racist. I would have thought the fur color was enough for that.
Having seen your brother not knowing the relation at first, you'll forgive me for not ruling it out. Should we go check on Oswin? Why? He ran off pretty quickly to go see, presumably, the picture. But it wouldn't take that long to go get it and come back. Maybe something happened?
We could afford to wait a little longer. But there's nothing left for us to discuss without him anyway.
Anyone want tea? We could do tea while we wait. Maybe I can make a few sandwiches to use up the bread.
Alright, I'll help with the sandwiches. You do tea. Sal, come help. Do you think that's wise?
That's a fair question.
It'll be fine. Just come on.
Dean patted Sal on the back, and that was enough to get him moving. Orlando bringing up the rear. They disappeared into the kitchen.
Well, this is a mess. At least I get tea.
Like tea is really going to help. Don't get him started. I've got enough on my mind already.
Fine, you get a pass.
Thanatos?
What?
Are things still going according to plan?
We'll find out tomorrow.
What makes you say that?
It can go a few different ways, but really all there is to do is just wait.
Yes, tea always helps. Very, very astute of you, Grizz. Live. You're also Grizz technically, but that's a whole conversation we can get into, but the difference between Grizz and Grizz. But all there is to do is just wait.
Or just wait, according to me.
Shut up, Thanatos.
Oh, waiting is the worst part.
Well, I'm sorry to say you're out of luck. It's waiting or take the fight to them. And I'll tell you for free, going in early is a bad idea.
Tyson dropped into a chair and started to tug at his fur, but I didn't say anything, especially after seeing Haas in a similar state. I'm going to check on Oswin. I'll be back. I hurried along until I was upstairs again, looking around for Oswin. The bookcase was still open off to the side, so I headed into the study. Oswin? He was sitting at the desk, the photo clutched tightly in his hands. Though the moment I made a sound, he stiffened and sat up straight, dipping his head so he could quickly wipe his eyes. Are you okay? When he turned to me, he was stone-faced, but his eyes were puffy. Even having not gone all that long, he must have been hit hard by something in that picture. I'm fine, all things considered. Sorry, I can come back if you want to be alone. Just you ran off and we're done downstairs for now, it looks like. He shook his head, setting the photo down. There's no benefit in being alone or with people, so do as you please. What does the note mean? On the back of the photo. Without prompting, he flipped it over, looking at the photo again. What's most important? It was always something she had said to us. Something that was meant to keep us focused on what we were meant to be doing. Me with my medicine, Reggie with his studies, and whatever Father wanted him to focus on. Sorry, I'm taking notes. Something Florencia would say. On what they were doing. There we go. Florencia? Flora, yeah. It was the last thing Reggie said to me before he passed as well. Oh, Reggie's dead. Did not know that. Okay. I got the feeling he knew something bad was going to happen and... well, he was right. Because of the medical trial? As if things couldn't be worse. So many things lined up with that day. The trial went wrong. Reggie passed. I knew my life was forever changed that day. It was meant to be a day of great happiness, but... He was smiling, but all I could see were tears start to threaten his corners of his eyes. I'm sorry, Osman. At the very least, Flora was there with her husband, and Benson came soon after I called him to tell him what was wrong. He was there when Reggie passed and took me away soon after things were settled, shall we say. Settled? Just some paperwork, really. Funeral arrangements and the like. Most of it had already been handled by my brother as a precaution, assuming that I'd have my hands full with the vaccine should things go well. But if things went well, wouldn't he have been cured? Yes, but such a cure wouldn't work immediately. Even dosing Reggie, assuming a successful response in the children, would mean he'd need to be watched for a while. Osman stood slowly, breathing out and tucking the photo into his pocket. Thank you for checking up on me. It only seemed right given, well, how you left. Yes, well, I suppose the time for tears can be after you've escaped off the mountain with your friends. assuming we can figure out who can go along with you. Yes, that is something we need to decide, isn't it? It's going to be me, isn't it? Pardon? It's just, that's the impression I was getting. That somehow Thanatos was arranging things so I'd be going in with you. If I'm being frank, I'd much rather if you didn't join me. Of your friends, Dean is the one I'm considering taking should I not be able to bring Roswell. Oh, well, good, I guess. You're not worried about Memphis trying to recruit him? Not overly. No offense to Dean, but I don't think he and Memphis will click based on morals alone. Dean's proven a little too soft to join organized crime, and he's not big enough to pass on that quality alone like Sal likely would. Well, that's... Don't worry, your boyfriend will be fine. Oswin's hand found my shoulder and he looked me over. Do not misunderstand, however. I'm going to spend the rest of my day concocting something to jumpstart Roswell to a stage where he can come along as intended. Or at least, try. Why? Because he's the most expendable? I wouldn't put it so simply, but if he were reducing things down to raw facts, then yes. As the one whose life is the closest to the end of its natural expectancy to maximize the years left to the rest of your group. The words seemed to catch in his throat and he stopped there, looking away. Okay. Yeah. Come now, Dave. Are you willing to risk your own life should things go awry? We don't know how things go tomorrow, but if we're playing the odds, then Roswell's the right choice. Yeah. Assuming he's well enough to go, leveraging his luck is the right move. What about you, though? With you staying with Memphis while we all escape? I will be fine, should the worst happen. Benson knows what to do. Won't Benson miss you if you get killed, though? Almost certainly, but with our options limited, risking death is just the point we're at. He made to leave, walking past me. Where are you going now? If I have half a day and night at most should I forego sleep to get Roswell on his feet, I best get started now. You'd best rest as well, Dave. I imagine tomorrow is going to be tolling on everyone. Right. Yeah. I stood there was he wandered away. I knew where he was likely headed, but I made no effort to follow. All I had to do was believe in him. He'd get Roswell fixed up. The plan will go ahead as required, and that was that. We'd be free. As I made my way downstairs, I was in a daze, wondering how likely Oswin was going to succeed in his making of some medicine in half a day. It didn't seem possible, but all things considered, I wasn't going to turn down a miracle. Ah, Dave, there you are. Huh. Oh. Were you looking for me? The others were curious how you were faring up checking up on Oswin. Yeah. We just had a chat upstairs, but now I think he's going to be holed up in his lab for the rest of the day. I imagine because of Roswell. Yeah. Apparently he wants to mix up some medicine for him or something. Benson seemed to consider the prospect over longer than I expected him to, tugging at his mustache. Benson? I sure do hope that man knows what he's doing. You don't think he would? I believe he's emotionally compromised and is about to make a rash decision. Because of stress? Or because... Because of what? Well, he saw a picture of him and his siblings upstairs. Something Florencia hid, I think. So, he's probably thinking about family. Yes, I believe he is. Do you think he'll get to see his sister again? Who can say? Can I ask you a personal question? It's... I don't know. Something that's been bothering me a little. What is it? Oswin and Roswell. That's not a question. They're not... related, are they? I mean, they seem closer when Oswin takes Roswell away somewhere, or... times like now, right? It's not the first time it's happened, so... That is a... touchy subject. Touchy how? A long time ago, Osman wanted a child of his own. A long time ago. But... life decided that it wasn't meant to be. He decided as punishment to himself that he was unfit to raise a child. Because of the medical trial? Very good, yes. It was because of the trial. So, Roswell... let's just say it's a means for him to enjoy the thing he wished he had. That's all. I gave Benson a funny look, but his stare didn't give me anything else to work with. When they both go into the woods tomorrow, I have questions. And at that time, I'll be happy to provide answers. But in the meantime, I should go provide support should he need it. A little fatherly touch, if you will. Good luck. I wouldn't know the first thing on how to help here. I shall see you later, Dave. Guys, I'm back.
Welcome back. I still think we should just eat whatever the fuck we want if we're hungry. If we're getting out tomorrow, may as well.
And if we don't?
How did checking up on Oswin go, Dave?
Fine. He's in his lab now, I think. Gone to see if he can get Roswell up and about to make tomorrow easier. Quickly scanning the room, I noticed a lack of certain rat about and frowned. Thanatos is missing. Yeah, said he had somewhere he had to be. Sure he does.
So, just in case I misheard you, Oswin is still going into the woods tomorrow and is going to work his magic to get Roswell to go with him still? Magic?
He's going to make medicine or something. I don't know how that works. Still, we can't go eating all the food. Okay, but why though? Because, you know.
I think if anyone's going to make the most of use of that food, it should be us, right?
For what it's worth, I think it's worth splurging a little bit. We'll feel better going into tomorrow well fed just in case the worst should happen.
Or better yet, give us the energy we need to make sure we can make a clean escape.
Good idea, yeah. But what do we want for food? I could see Ty starting to speak, and I reached over to push his muscle aside, speaking for him. 'Cause I could go for fried chicken and pumpkin bread. Together?
If we're making requests, may we have chicken and waffles instead?
Sounds like comfort food central.
Guys, we're not having chicken and waffles. Please?
Counterpoint, Orlando. If you don't let us have chicken and waffles, you have two older brothers willing to step in and make you do it.
Oh, I wouldn't do something like that.
Come on, Sal. You're letting the side down.
Sorry. Orlando, please make us chicken and waffles. Or I'm going to tell everyone the story about what happened when you had coffee.
Oh? You wouldn't.
Failing that, I had Tyson in the wings, 'cause he counts too. But Sal's ready to go, it seems.
So chicken and waffles. Easy. Fine, I'll go get... Fine. I'm going to go prepare the chicken now. If we're going to do this right, I need to prepare buttermilk. Well, that's dinner sorted. A very good pre-game meal. Fried chicken.
I'm a little excited now, if I'm being honest. You're still going to tell that story, though, right? Why would I do that? He's making chicken and waffles. Haas, help?
I'll offer you some advice here, Tyson. Pick the battles you can win, and you're not winning this one. You'd be like fighting Dave on anything to do with arts and crafts.
Oh, fuck that, then.
I puffed out my chest in pride before I saw Sal start to make movements. Where are you going?
Fried chicken is something I can cook, and cook well. If nothing else, I'll offer to help Orlando with that for the rest of the day.
He'd already made up his mind, it seemed, and followed Orlando into the kitchen. Tyson followed suit soon after, mouthing at me pumpkin bread before flashing me a thumbs up and heading into the kitchen as well.
Well, that's exciting.
Dinner or...
Just seeing the mood shift upwards. I was worried we were going to be down in the dumps.
I flashed Dean a quick smile, but it faded as fast as I thought about tomorrow. It was going to be a big day. A lot of things had to go right, and there was still a worry I had that things could go horribly wrong.
Dave.
Huh? What?
Don't worry. I don't think anyone has forgotten. But try and focus on other things for now.
Yeah, it's not a great situation, but all of us know that. We'll get through it one little bit at a time, alright?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
How about you go find us a board game and bring it downstairs?
Huh? Why?
Wouldn't be bad to just spend the day down here, right? Give Roswell the space to recover, Oswin the space to work. Plus, we're all keeping together, so it should be fine, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, any preference for what game?
So long as it's something we can all play, we should be fine.
I rushed upstairs with a notable spring in my step, but stopped dead in my tracks as I went to make a move for the cupboard with the games. Oh god, Roswell's up. Roswell was sitting there, dazed and seemingly out of it. Thanatos, on the other hand, was seemingly waiting for me to arrive. What's going on?
Come here. Roswell's got something for you.
I shuffled closer to see exactly what Thanatos was referring to. As Roswell was sitting on the beanbag, he had one hand cradled in his lap, with the other resting beside him, holding something that looked very familiar. Wait, that's... In his hand was another medal. This one with a prominent letter V with the ends all curvy. More importantly, shouldn't he be in bed? Like, great, he found a medal, but...
Dave, you need to get out of here.
His fingers flexed around the metal disc just a little bit, but his overall grip was slack. What?
Dave, Hayes.
Roswell struggled to lift the medal, breathing hard. His hand was shaking as he held it out for me to take.
He's about to.
Oh my god, it was a trap! And my fingers barely brushed the metal before a sharp pain in my skull made me black out. Ares. Roswell has found the Ares medal. Things were going so well. Things seemed to be taking a turn for the better as much as it could be, but Thanatos had decided to knock me out again. He'd been doing it more lately, and it was starting to mess with my understanding of what exactly it was I was meant to be doing at any given moment. Questioning if I was awake or asleep, plus dealing with the distortion and disorientation afterwards, and the immediate pain at the start. The only consistent thing I knew was that whatever I was about to see, I wasn't going to like it. No! Are you serious? No! Are you kidding me? To be continued. Oh man, that's terrifying. Sorry, I'm going to quickly put that in the timestamp and then save. And then I'll go back to doing the thing for Tyson. Oh, man, that was a good way to end it. I was thinking the day would go way longer than this. Day 22. Where's the return button? So that is the end of password, technically for Dean's route for it. So this is the end of if you read Tyson's and hop back to the common parts here or whatever. This is the end of day 22, so either way. So we'll just call this kind of a little break moment. Plus break. And we'll get started at 2:30. And I'll probably do a little editing afterwards. Well, not like editing of this video, but like editing of the timestamps afterwards to be like, okay, here are the common Tyson parts and here are the common Dean parts, which is which. Just because it'll be much easier. I mean, hey, there's Route B stuff. No, we are not doing Route B. I am happy with playing Route A as is. I will, if I want to do it, I'll do it probably in my off time or whatever. I can only stream so much, folks. But yeah, that is what is happening right now. So I'm going to start it up in a minute. We are going to go to the load screen. Page 8 this time. No, page 6. This is the Tyson one. So we will start that in a bit. I need to sharpen my pencil so I can write more conspiracies. My pencil broke. Great. Why do I keep moving my trash can like all the way over there? My conspiracies can no longer be written. Help. At least I do have a backup pen just in case. Remember, folks, properly sharpen your pencils. If I can't sharpen this, whatever. I have a backup pencil and I could sharpen this afterwards. Anyway, we are going to get started on Tyson's unique parts. So if you are just playing Tyson's routes and don't want Dean's spoiled or whatever, you can skip the Dean unique parts, which I will have timestamped after I've posted this video or finished live streaming. And yeah, then you can kind of skip those Dean parts and just look for the Tyson bits and then go back to the regular parts. Anyway, enough explaining, let's get to it. It was not long after that I passed out again. This time, though, hopefully it'd be a dreamless sleep. And from there, we'll fast forward to the next unique part. Here we go. The line before it. I felt silly that that's what it had come to, but I breathed out knowing I was properly awake. Tyson was sprawled out on his back, leg twitching every now and again. He seemed to be having a nice dream with a slight smile on his face. Ty? I saw his face scrunch up briefly as I whispered his name a second time, but soon enough he had that gentle smile on his face again, hinting that he was still asleep. Seeing him smile brought one to my face too. Even with things going on, he was able to smile, to find something to be happy about even in his dreams. I wondered what he was dreaming about, but I was sure I would find out later. As I got dressed, I looked out the window. Part of me wondered if I was going to catch Dom or even Jack sneaking up to the house the longer I stared. And yes, the pencil conspiracy, I can no longer write these notes. Don't worry, I have a backup pencil. Hopefully it doesn't get broken. Anyway, but it was just green. No pale white or ashy gray. No pale white or ashy gray lingering out of place. I looked over to Tyson, who was sprawled out further across the bed, and I wandered over to lightly kiss the side of his muzzle.
Dave.
He reached out for me sleepily and was happy placing his hand on my face. Not that he said anything more than that. His hand fell away near immediately and he resumed snoring. I left Tyson there to sleep, not wanting to bother him if he was finding some happiness with everything going on. From what I could see, Dean was also outside near the back door with a mug of coffee. I would have said hello, but the prospect of coffee was too strong. And then we will go back to the common part if you are just playing the Tyson bits or want to follow it linearly. So the next line that is part of the common route is, or the common path, sorry, is: the moment I stepped into the kitchen, I made for the coffee pot and got myself sorted. We continue there until a very long while, actually. We go past the Florencia scene. This is when we meet with Haas and Tyson, and they mention about, or I was going to say Orlando again, with Roswell being sick, so it seems like we had just found out the news from them about it, because Orlando was helping Roswell. Sorry, that's why. So anyway, the lines that lead up to it, since that one's a pretty common line, is the two lines before are: he ran after Haas, disappearing into the other room.
So, we gonna talk?
He put his arm around me, looking around briefly to see if anyone else was around. Guess so. Lead the way, Ty. And now we continue from here until the next unique Tyson part. Everything is similar from our talk with Tyson wanting to sacrifice himself or find the escape first. Until we get to the line, Tyson.
When we get out of here, go on a proper vacation.
I caught the faintest smirk cross his face before he continued.
Could be fun, you know. On the beach.
It was the snicker that followed that really clued me in on where his mind was at, and I couldn't help but follow suit, if only a little. The conversation seemed to die there, though, fading into silence. And that is the line where things go back to the common path. Let us fast forward from there and see if there are any further unique bits to the Tyson route. We continue skipping now. Another unique point in the conversation we see. At least this part is still common. So, I watched as Tyson stood from his chair and came closer. He pulled me carefully to my feet and looked me in the eye.
I love you, you dork.
The words brought a smile to the face. The way he whispered them as he leaned in, carefully pressing his muzzle to mine. Even when trying to be gentle, he didn't really know what he was doing, but he was trying. Sliding his muzzle alongside mine until he had his chin resting on my shoulder, he hugged me close. At any moment, I could lose this. I could lose what I had with any of my friends, and the pit in my stomach grew to the point that I started trembling. And that is where we then hit the common path again. We fast forward until... Well, since Dean's not our boyfriend in this one, I guess we don't talk about the whole boyfriend reference, so... The lines before it are... Not overly. No offense to Dean, but I think he and Memphis will click based on morals alone. Dean's proven a little too soft to join organized crime, and he's not big enough to pass on that quality alone like Sal likely would. Well, that's... If Dean is as good a woodsman as I'm led to believe, he'll be back in no time. And we then go back to the common path. Oswin's hand found my shoulder and he looked me over. We talk with Benson, we talk about getting a board game. No. Crap. Well, shoot, I fast forwarded too far. It seems like that was the last mention of things being unique to the Tyson route. Apologies for that. We technically end at 2:38, so if you want a technicality, to be continued, Tyson route and everybody. Excuse me as I go saving everything. Oh man, that was fun. So follow me as I join the journey of going to the end where I talk to Roswell. But wait, there's a plot twist. Alright, we'll jump to it soon. I'll probably save just before it just to be safe, just in case I skip too much right now. So if I mess up again, I'll be like, okay. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. We'll do this for now. And then we'll overwrite this save once we get to the end. Nope. Dang it. I knew it was gonna happen. Alright, folks. It's been a good update, though, by the way, so... Sorry to keep you all hanging here as I do... Nope. It is very short. Let's just say, third time's the charm. We're gonna keep fast forward through this so much. Okay. There we go. I think this might be it. Thanatos decided to knock me out again. He'd be doing it more lately. Questioning if I was awake or asleep. The only consistent thing I knew was whether I was about to see... the only consistent thing I knew was that whatever I was about to see, I wasn't going to like it. And that is where the demo ends. Apologies for taking 3 times to get to it there, but now we got to the end of the demo. It only took me 2 minutes. Anyway, that is it for both Dean's and Tyson's Day 22 updates, and technically Path A as a whole. So, yeah, this is it for now. We could do Path B, but I am not doing Path B. At least if I do, I'll do it in my own free time, because I got too much on my hands. Doing my own VN, doing my other stuff. Yeah, this is a good update. I enjoyed the part where we passed out, like kid, but it's amazing how quickly Roswell's thing has escalated, and that we now have to deal with the trauma of whatever Roswell induced on us. That is terrifying, and I do not know how this could possibly help. But who knows, maybe it will technically be part of Day 22 and lead into Day 23 immediately after, so who knows? Let's just say I have 2 pages worth of notes if you want to see me IRL one last time. This is real me. This is real life Dirk. My notes so far, I'll probably post these in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, link in the description. And then the second page. We have 2 pages worth of this stuff. It's nuts. But yeah, that's a little quick preview of them. You're probably not going to be able to read all that as I quickly flashed it on the camera. So, yeah. Well, I guess now that I have the camera out, I guess I'll probably do my little goodbye thing with my face on it this time. So, perks of that. And sorry if the camera quality is kind of meh. It's not my Logic whatever camera, the one that is better now. I'm using my old one temporarily because I just did this kind of on a whim. So yeah, no setup. Anyway, we are going to give thanks to our patrons. We must give thanks to patrons. But yes, goodbye everybody who's leaving now. So thanks for all checking in, and I'll look for the Password Conspiracy channel. That'll be the 3rd channel. Oh, who knows? That'd be a fun 2nd channel idea. Password Conspiracies with Dirk. Anyway, let us go to the patrons. So, y'all really are great for helping me out and just, yeah, helping support my endeavors, whether that is my visual novel or helping add artwork and other stuff to this thingamajig that I do, known as my YouTube channel. It is all just crazy that this is where I am now, and this is what I do for fun, and this is... yeah, this is my thing that I'm doing. But yeah, if you want to be a patron, you'll get some interesting perks such as early access to my visual novel 7 days before the public update, and other preview art and whatnot that is exclusive to that, or maybe even potential personal art. There's also one other thing I do on there that I saved best for last, is my exclusive NSFW video. So if there is a particularly provocative scene that I censor or whatever, or go a little bit softer on in terms of description or going ham on the lines, typically in the exclusive version I go really into it, like I really put on the performance and narrating, whereas when I'm doing it live I try and be a little more cautious or at least try and be a little more, I guess, safe, you could say. But yeah, those videos are technically saved privately for my patrons. So yeah, if you want to check those out, you can become a patron, and they're all there. So let us get started then. I want to thank my fellow dorks, North Grizz, aka Vlad Loed, Type A Roth, Magrim Wolfram, Andrew Buenaventura, Ryan Atkins, Spatan98, Akimaki, Think Dark, Nai Wang, Dennis Arellano Gonzalez, Kuma, Moritaka, A.L. Bryant, Everos, and Ice Bear Paladin. Y'all are the best for being here and checking my workout, whether or not you support or not. It's just great to see y'all come in. And yeah, thank you for the support. So yeah, that concludes everything for today's video. So this is a bit unusual. I'm on camera for once with all my messy bedding and stuff. So yeah, that concludes today's video. Just a quick little shout out again for Vlad, sorry. He also does Password. Forgot to mention that when I said his name earlier. So we both do Password if you want to check out our renditions of it. He does it more straight, clean cut narration. So if you don't want to hear all the like commentary and side jokes and all that stuff, he's a great channel for that. So that's it for today. So thank you. God damn it, Felix, not the uncut line. You had to say it. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, take care, folks.